Good morning, everybody. It's Javier. Super excited to be with you here this morning to share with you some tools that will truly allow you to learn how to fish for yourself, if you would, when it comes to marketing, and also how to leverage some of these tools in the specialized markets. We are recording this, so in case you need to review any information, go ahead and watch the replay on YouTube. And make sure that you go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is the link that I sent you via the private chat. And for those that are watching the recording right now, visit the very simple domain, which is ffsonyoutube.com, and subscribe to the channel, and you will be notified every time a new video is uploaded. That way you don't have to be checking with me. As always, our top producers, our top leaders get priority and support and anything else that they have. So outside of those individuals, I really don't reply to any questions during the week that were covered on either the live training webinar or that are on the recorded one. So please don't take that personal, just that takes a lot of time. And I appreciate your understanding. Well, let's go ahead and kick it off. Today, we're going to talk about part 2 of how to leverage your success and income by leveraging the power of Canva. This is more of a part 2 about what we spoke about last week. And we're going to give you a special gift that I'm going to share with you here in just 1 second. So I want to make sure you can see me, which you can. And let's go ahead and get started. I want to start with, as always, first things first. I want to wish everybody a happy Lunar New Year. It's the year of the tiger. So I hope everybody takes this as a great sign, if you would, to understand that it's a new beginning, a new chance to get ourselves from where we are and get our business and our income for where it is to where we want it to be. And so I wish everybody health, wealth, prosperity. And so congratulations to all of you that are doing those things. And if you're not where you want to be or wanted to be by this point, here's a new chance for you to go ahead and get started all over again. I'm super excited. For those that have never been to one of these places, these are called Topgolf. It's an excellent place. Has anybody here ever been to one? If you can unmute yourself, no chat, no texting, no nothing. Anyone?
I have.
First of all, let's start with ladies. Go first, please. Tell me what are your thoughts?
It was amazing. Me and my family went to visit my son in the Air Force in Arizona, and they took us to Topgolf, and we just enjoyed it. It was really, really nice.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Who was anybody else?
Yes, Javier. I've visited the one in Las Vegas, and awesome. Just a real good time.
I mean, I think it's an excellent team building place, networking place, relaxing place if you wanted to relax. And so I was taken, I was actually with FFS, Michael Harding and the Florida team. They took me to a Topgolf, which I had never heard of. And I was like, all right, well, let's go to the driving range. Kind of a little weird, but I'll take it. I like, golf. Boom, just blew me away. If you haven't been to one, I recommend you visit one. The only one that we have here in Southern California that's coming soon is this one in Ontario in the Inland Empire. Does anybody know the other one that's coming? Just curious.
El Segundo.
Yes, El Segundo, which is going to give our LA people, our true LA people, another one. And so I'm telling you, this lady here that you see, which is, of course, Marcella, she's Miss Anti-Golf, does want nothing to do with it, never played it, that never really knew what she was saying no to. We ended up going to Vegas for a concert. I took her last year to a concert. We had some time to kill, so I went to the Topgolf right there, and she was literally hooked. She was hooked where she didn't want to leave, and she actually has been driving because it's only like maybe 20 minutes from my home, and so we go there every once in a while. There are actually done building it. They're just staffing it up. And I'm telling you, it's an excellent place. I'm actually buying the annual membership. It's already in the mail, or digitally at least. And so I'm going to be inviting our top people there to join me for, one-on-one events, team-wide events, and everything in between. So the reason that I'm buying that membership is because I intend to leverage it to the max, first and foremost, to have fun, but also to show others the experience, if you would, of Topgolf. And so thank you for the fee. Anybody else have been on Topgolf? I'm just curious. You think it's that big of a deal? Anyone? Or that cool, that nice? Anyone?
You said there's one in South Florida or in Florida?
No, I went with the Florida team. We went to the one, I believe it was, where was it? I know it was Bob Brotherton, Michael Harding.
It was
Andy
in Florida. It was Florida.
I thought it was, but if not, the only other place I could have been either there or Houston.
It might be the West Coast. It might be over in Tampa area or something.
Something like that. But it was an incredible place. I'm telling you, it's that good. And I was hesitant because I had never been to one. And in a nutshell, you see, way in the distance, you got a couple of targets that you shoot at. Brandon, somebody apologist typed in Brandon. There's one in Brandon. To be able to do that, although golf balls have chips inside of them, so you don't have to see where they land because you sometimes can't see it, but there's a screen that tells you where it landed. You compete against each other. Great team building, relaxing, couples, you name it, by yourself. I just think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. But more important stuff than that, well, maybe not so more important. I just want to remind everybody also, I'm 6 days away from leaving next Friday for the Holy Land. We're going to be going to Israel, Jerusalem, the whole 9 yards. And the reason that I mentioned this to you is not because I'm bragging, but rather because I want to also remind you that I'm taking requests for special videos or shout outs for those of you that are working the church campaign and are using the actual certificates to raise money for churches and, of course, generate business. The person that I know that's doing it the best so far, by far, is Mr. Alan Guerra. Even though he is also going to be eventually going up there, the kind of shout outs that I'm talking about is I'm going to be recording videos for myself, something, with the Holy Land in the background. Say, hello, this is Javier coming at you from the Holy Land itself. I'm here in Jerusalem, and I wanted to invite you to join me here someday. And all you have to do is help your church by donating a small donation. You bless your church. We're going to bless you with a stay here in Jerusalem. You're just responsible for the transportation, meaning airfare and the taxes. And again, thank you so much on behalf of everybody and in this example, we have, Alan Guerra, who has his own sub firm, if you would, within FFS. What is it, Alan? For yours?
I'm sorry, Javier.
Your company, what do you call it? Your AGM, or what is it?
Yes, we recently changed that to the Guerra Financial Group.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. And so on behalf of the Guerra Financial Group, we thank you for helping your church here today. Can't wait for you to come to the Holy Land and experience all that Jerusalem has to offer for yourself. Something like that. Now, so I'm going to be doing at least 6 so far that I have requests for. So if you have one, just text me or email me with the name of your financial firm, if you would, what you want me to punch in there. And then hopefully you get there yourself and record your own. But in the meantime, nothing beats a customized message to your audience, which we're going to be playing at various churches as well. I brought 2 more people on board this past week that are working with churches as well. And we're just simply duplicating our template with them as well. I want to take a moment to thank everybody that did their part to make January a very good month. But I especially want to thank our top producer for the month of January, which was Daniela Dubak. She was the #1 personal producer. I believe she hit 17 personal applications. And so I just want to take a moment to recognize her. And Daniela, I don't know if you're on, but if you are, anything you want to say, just interrupt me, please, if you are. I think she's setting a great example for not just her team, our team, the company. And for that, I thank her from the bottom of my heart and recognize her as such because of the simple fact that it's always challenging to go out there and produce. And, we are at some pretty challenging times as well. And so to be able to put up that kind of those kind of numbers, I just want to say that I'm very proud of her accomplishments, and the rest of her team. The #2 personal producer was actually producers that were all tied for #2. So I'm just going to name them. Knock, which is part of Daniela's team as well. She was tied for #2, along with Kathy DeRugar. Congratulations, Kathy, on a job well done. And Mr. Alan Guerra, which you just heard here just one moment ago. So I want to take a moment to congratulate Alan for this excellent performance. And again, all of you, for all that you do. And I can't tell you how blessed I feel to have you being part of my team. And one of the things that I always say is that one of the things that not just during Thanksgiving I'm very thankful for, but throughout the year, is having a team that's as committed and dedicated as all of you here. So thank you for all that you do. And thank you to everyone, but especially to our top producers. So let's give it up for them. Congratulations on a job well done. So we're going to get right into it. And we're going to talk about basically part 2 about how to increase your income by leveraging Canva and flow code. I'm not going to cover flow code because there's just literally not a lot to flow code. And if you didn't catch it last week, well, go ahead and check out the recording on our YouTube channel so that you can go ahead and bring yourself up to speed. But I am going to focus on Canva, and I'm going to give you a special gift, literally a gift that I just purchased this morning that I want to share with you as part of your training. So let's get right into it. Now, why Canva? Well, Canva is basically nothing more than an online graphic design platform that's super easy to use. Now, the other reason that it's not the only platform, excuse me, but it's one of the simplest and, in my opinion, one of the best, if not the best, to be able to do that. Now, what's also really cool about Canva is there's a lot of people that create templates, if you would, for Canva. So you don't have to be the creative type. I'm not creative. I'm going to sit there and choose fonts versus background colors versus images. I can't do that. I don't know how, and I don't have the time. And so therefore, I'm a big believer in templates. So you can literally buy templates and just simply customize it. And that's what I encourage you to do. Now, if you want to create something from scratch and you are that creative, bless your heart. I want no time. I want nothing to do with that. I believe in copying and piggybacking on other people's work, which I think is a lot smoother. So we're going to talk into this is going to be a beginner/advanced because there's not a whole lot to it. And I want you to understand that this is something everybody here can do. I'll give you an example of one thing that we created real quickly. And that is what you see here on the screen, which is an image. Now, it was an image created on a 6x4. Length is always first. So if I was to tell you this is a 4x6 image, it really would be portrait up and down. It's the other way around. It's 6x4. And so in this one that you see here, it's a very simple one. It says, teachers, as your retirement plan, make the grade. Get a free pension maximization review via Zoom and receive a 4-day, 3-night stay in Las Vegas. And the flip side to it is what you see here, which the same thing, except this one has the actual QR code, which is technically a flow code. And we spoke about this last week that I'm not going to go over it again as to why you want to use flow code only, but it is what it is. And here it is. It is fully compliant with every department that has to run it through. So it's good as long as you don't mess with it. Now, if you go around and mess with what I'm going to share with you, change the templates, take your license number off, and you're opening up yourself to getting in trouble. And when I get those types of emails, my only response is always they make their bet. They can, lay in it too, because I'm not going to in any way, shape, or form lift the finger for somebody that went out of their way to get themselves in trouble. We don't have time for that. And so, like I said, stick to the compliance side of the house because it will keep you out of trouble. And again, it's not worth it. And so this is very simple. There's nothing to it. They scan it. It is a live flow code. So if you want to go ahead and check it out, break out your phone just so you can practice what you're going to tell people. Break out your phone, swipe open your camera, and aim it at the QR code or flow code on the screen, and you'll see how this works. Now, this is part of personalizing the message to your audience. Super important, and I'm not going to get into why that is so. It's self-explanatory, and I've covered in great detail in previous classes. So this is an example of that. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and get in chat from people. All right. If you get feedback, let me see. It's probably just somebody unmuted themselves. Don't unmute yourself unless you have a question. Unmute yourself, ask, and then mute yourself back up immediately because we can hear your microphone when it's open. So anyways, like I said, very, very simple one, very simple instructions. I hope somebody scanned it so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. And that's really what it's all about. And also, when you change your audience, you can also, like I said, change your actual message. And I'll give you an example of that right now. This is one that I'm using with police officers, works like a charm as well. And as you can see here, LASPD officers. And the reason it says that is because this one is part of an email for just LASPD officers. And so you can change it. That's the whole purpose of Canva. Not only do you customize, Marcela, call Ricky. And so, sorry about that. That was my son-in-law. But anyways, like I said, and so the main thing here is to understand that you can deliver the message. Now, what's nice about this, the reason you see two sides, like here, one side, another side, is because this is from a postcard template, front and back. But you don't have to do that. If you're not going to print up a postcard, then take your actual QR code or flow code, and you can just stick it somewhere in here, make it a single side image for social media and so on. You can also have them side by side. You want to have aesthetically appealing, if you would, to make sure it looks good. And so you be the judge of that. I'm not going to get into that much. But the reason you see two sides on what I'm showing you here today, it's because it is part of a postcard program. Now, when I use a simple, let's just say this one, I'm sending this. The reason you see the QR code on the front is because this is part of an email campaign for LASPD only. Otherwise, here's the back part of the postcard. It's white with the background, as you can see, Vegas, my information, and so on. And so you can do that. I mean, just use common sense is what I'm getting at. I just took the QR code here, stuck it here. Now you might say, wait a minute, where's your disclosure on this one with your license? And well, that's in the email. This is the header. This is not just something I'm emailing by itself. And I'll give you an example of that just in 1 second as well. And then lastly, one of the underserved markets that we have out there, without doubt, lies with the medical field. I think that's for a couple of different reasons. Number one, it can be challenging to see them when they're working because of the simple fact that most of the medical professionals, especially in hospitals, report to their stations, if you would, right away to see their patients. They don't go to a roll call per se, or they don't have a staff meeting. And so it does make it that much more difficult to do. I know one gentleman that was here that actually was part of our actual in-house when we actually went there and door knocked the hospitals with Mr. Anthony LeBlanc. And I don't know if you're going to meet yourself, Anthony, but he saw the good, the bad, and the ugly of that physical campaign when we walked into the hospitals. First of all, Anthony, were you there?
Yeah, that was a challenge.
Yes. I mean, first you had to get through security, literally, in the front. And then you got to get, to the right floor. And then when you go there, it was challenging. So therefore, the digital approach is a lot better. There are companies that do nothing but market or sell you the email addresses to nothing but doctors, nurses, and so on. My recommendation is to stick to doctors and or RNs. You can look at these people here on the picture, and if I was to ask you, who's the doctor, who's the surgeon, who's the RN, who's the LVN? There's a lot of people in the medical profession that just don't make a lot of money. And so it makes it that much more difficult. So you have to understand who you can go after, which, again, you can do with these right here. So I'll give you an example. Going back to this right here, this one, we actually have a campaign that launches next Monday. I'll be in Israel, but next Monday, where they're going to be, half of them are going to be, I think it's 5,000 cards. Half of them are being dropped off in person to schools to simply have them put into the teachers' boxes. Teachers get hit up with all kinds of stuff in boxes from the school alone. So you better stand out. And what stands out here is something that is designed for teachers. Number two, it's a Vegas incentive. And so you have to incentivize it when you do that. And then we also have 10,000 this Monday emails that are going out. 5,000 have one image, another 5,000 have a different image, and we're going to see which one works best. So you want to stay in contact with people that are doing what you want to do to make sure that, again, you can maybe save yourself a headache or two and just get to what works best. And so this is, again, the police one, the back of the police, nursing, the back of the, what else can you do? Well, like I told you, digital marketing, social media. So if you're going to do it on social media, keep it to a single side, single image, but make sure all your disclosures are there that need to be there. Super, super, super simple. And what's another way you can do it? Well, you can hand out the postcards. Now, here's the only thing that I will tell you that's very challenging. There are high-grade stuff that we do, and then there's low-grade stuff that we do. Me sending an email to a list of specifically LASPD officers is mid-grade. It's kind of in the middle because it's going to them. I know who it's going to. It's going to their official email, so I know they're going to get it. And so by having something customized to them, it increases the chances of them actually engaging. And I'll give you the report on how that one went as well. If you're going to go stand outside a hospital and hand out these postcards to people in the scrubs, that's very low grade. And so could you do it? I wouldn't do it, but you could. Now, if you know somebody, or you can make a, let's just say, form a relationship with somebody that works at a hospital where they can drop them off. They have boxes as such, I would do that. But I would probably rather email it to medical professionals because I don't care where they are. As a matter of fact, the 10,000 emails that are going out to educators in the state of California. We have the same list I gave all of you for free. It has 100,000 educators. We're just doing it with 10 just to get some solid numbers. Here's an example of that email. And as you can see, this one has what I need, which is the image, the header, the bait, which is the Vegas on top of that, and everything else that needs to be there. The disclaimers are on the bottom lower left under my actual signature line, but very simple. Now, this one doesn't have the QR code, if you would. And so therefore, what that means is that you'll have the ability to customize it. Again, I'm just showing you what's available. You customize it as you see fit. You're an independent rep. And so therefore, you can do whatever you want. And so just go ahead and make sure that my recommendation, stay as compliant as possible to avoid headaches. And that's it. And so anyways, this is an example of something like this for teachers. Here's the one I was referring to for the LASPD campaign, as we call it, is going out to 350 of them, 100% of the department. And as you can see there, this one has the flow code or QR code in it. It does create that curiosity from people to see how they work, and it works. And then from there, they can also click down below where it says click here. And then again, the same link to schedule is embedded in the book your session, which is blue on the lower right-hand side or lower center side of the actual email as well. So you can do all this stuff, which is pretty cool, as long as, of course, you come up with a campaign that you can see through. Let me tell you something. This works just like a billboard. If you were to buy a billboard to market your financial services, you probably wouldn't run it for a day. And you probably wouldn't run well, first of all, the company wouldn't give it to you for a day. But even if they did, you wouldn't do that. You probably wouldn't run it for a week. I would say run it for a month or two at least, and run multiple of them. And so the same thing is true with here, because this falls under what's called the law of multiple impressions. People have to see something over and over and over again. And the more they see it, the more comfortable they become with it, the more likely they are to click on the offer, whatever it is that you're offering. So don't be unrealistic. Think that I sent one email, I got nothing in return. Don't do that. Make sure that you go ahead and understand that as well. Here's what I recommend you do. To keep your life easier, there are two places to get templates. One is going to be Canva itself. The second one is going to be Etsy.com. Etsy is a marketplace where people put up the stuff they created up for sale. And I'm talking about anything and everything you can imagine. I was actually on Etsy this morning. I actually bought templates that I'm going to share with you right now at the end. I should say, remind me about your gift just for being on this webinar here today. And so I'm going to share that with you in just 1 second. But here's where you go. And then you can just literally, like it says, search for anything. And so if you type in, let's just say life insurance Canva template or something like that, it's amazing how much stuff you will get. This is an example of the ones that I typed in for insurance. And if you look at the top, insurance marketing, life insurance, stay away from insurance broker, because that includes P&C or property and casualty, which is probably not going to benefit you a whole lot. But here's one I found that I liked. It simply said 20 life insurance Valentine's Day Instagram post, which you can edit in Canva. That's what you want. And the nice thing about this is that they're pretty plain and simple, which is what you want. And then you can just doll them up if you would, as much as you want to, or customize them as well. And they're very inexpensive. This one cost me $11.34. Now, I don't know how the hell they come up with $11.34, but whatever. It is that for 20 life insurance Valentine's Day templates, which I'll show you here in just 1 second. And so having said that, let me go ahead and get out of this and take you to Canva so you see what I mean. I'm going to start with the actual Canva-based templates. And forgive me if I'm talking fast, but I got to get through this ASAP. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Canva. Hopefully you can see it. Yeah, you can. Okay, there you are. And so here, I can literally come in here and type in, let's just say, teachers. I want to do something for teachers. Now, what you need to know is, what are you looking to do? Well, I'm looking to create a postcard, because the reason I like postcards so much, you can print them, obviously, have them sent to a printer, but you can also just use them as image. So this is not about postcards to mail. It's about the way it comes out landscape mode. It's really, really good. Versus some of these square ones, you will never send that to a printer because it's just not going to work. So what does that mean? That doesn't mean that you have to look for something that's a teacher postcard. There is no such thing. What it means is that I'm just looking for something I like. Now, this one says Teacher's Day. Now, let's just say you wanted to go ahead. Guys, let's see. Okay, perfect. And so let's just say you wanted to go ahead and use this one. Okay, well, I'm going to click on it. The challenge with this one is going to be, it's square. Now, it's perfect for maybe Instagram, which is technically what it's going after, but I want it to be landscape. So very simply, all I'm going to do is adjust the size, or I'm going to resize. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go to the upper left-hand corner. Hopefully you can see this right here where I'm hovering over right now. And I'm going to click on resize. And I'm going to go ahead. You can either just type it in Or because I've done it before, you notice this is in pixels. This is in inches, millimeters, centimeters. So I just go with inches, and I don't want it to be 11. I want it to be 6 inches by 4, because I want it to be landscape, 6 by 4. Let me just go back over here. I'm zooming in too much. Okay, so I'm going to go in here, and I want to be, let's see, 6 by 4, and I'm going to click copy and resize. So it's going to do, it's going to make a copy of this. And just one thing you'll know, when you work with Canva, the damn thing opens up a million tabs. That's just the way it is. Because if you go to the tab to the left, the square one is still there. So you can technically close it if you want to, which I'm going to do right now just to have more room there. So now here, what I have is just that. This is a beautiful font there, there, there. And if you notice, it's 3 different text sections. And I'll tell you why that's super important. Now, what I want to do is I don't want a happy teacher's day, right? I want to make sure that I can just change it. And let's just say retirement is, and I'm just typing some stupid thing. Please bear with me. Whatever you want your headline to be, or whatever you want your message to be. And then just like anything else, you can adjust this so it's centered. I'm going to drag it to this. I'm just going to highlight the whole thing. And up here in the upper left-hand corner is the font size. This is font color. This is font size. So I'm just going to get minus, 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 minus until it makes it small enough that it can go ahead and do that. Now, it's very important for you to know that whenever you create something that you intend to print, send it to the printer, Vistaprint or whatever, you always want to leave a safety line. In other words, you don't want to have your text right against this, because there's a cutter that literally a knife comes down and chops it. It's probably going to chop part of it. So you want to always leave a buffer like that. So in case they chop it at the top, it doesn't mess up your message. And that is very, very important. If I don't need this, I just simply hit delete. Now, this is a pretty cool, cute thingy, so I'm gonna leave that, but I don't need the, maybe I want to put the hat up here. You can do that, or maybe you don't need it. But the point of it is that at this point, you just customize your message. You can type it. You can also save any logos that you're using by uploading them one time. And then they're stored right here where it says logos on the left-hand side. I don't know if you can see it, but on the left-hand side, you do logos. I can come in here and let's just say, type that. Once I do that, I'm going to go ahead and go here, and it will allow me to just go ahead and resize it to put it wherever I want it to be. Does that make sense? Again, I'm just pulling this out of thin air. Forgive me. Let's see. And so what I'm doing is I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Now, the background, as you see, is green because it's intended to be more along the lines of, let's just say, a chalkboard, which I will leave it green, of course. That's what I was telling you. Unless you're a super creative person, somebody went through a lot of time and trouble to do this. Keep your message here. And so this doesn't have to be something that you're going to mail out. This doesn't have to be something that you're going to print out. This could be just an email header. And what I mean by that is this. Happy, whatever. I don't know what the hell. Valentine's Day. I don't know. I mean, whatever you want it to be, you could do that. Size it so it's not all the way to the edge. You could do that. Or let's just say from here, you have a teacher, or you know it's a teacher, or you know it's your client, you know it's your birthday, just simply something like this. Now, if you notice, this is shifted to the left. That's determined by this right here, the alignment, center or right, left, center, right, left, center. So I want it to be centered because I want it to be more like a letter. And if now, obviously, I need to make this wider. So I'm just going to take it there, and I'm going to take it to the same side on the left-hand side. Dear Smith, and the way it's way too big. So I'm just going to go ahead and make it smaller there. And so if I wanted to do something like that. Now, if I need more room, I'm just going to make this smaller. Just like that. means I should make this one a little smaller as well. You can see me doing that right there. And so what I'm getting at is that you might say, well, you might need more space. Okay, great. I'll just do that. Okay. But this space is way too big. So I'm going to just minimize the size of the actual space. I'm going to do this one. This one was a 7.3. I'm going to make this one a 7.3 to keep it consistent. And so along the lines of that. Did that make sense, anyone? You can text or whatever. I just want to make sure I'm not doing anything that's super duper or losing you advanced or something like that. Anybody? I can't see you. Hold on. Okay. I just want to make sure it's making sense.
This is fantastic.
Okay. I just want to make sure I'm not losing anybody. Okay, that's fine. And so as you can see now,
flyers too, which is pretty cool. You know, I mean, what if you
what is it?
You want to make flyers? You can make flyers out of this thing.
Oh, I mean, and so let's just say, let me shift gears to what he just brought up. Let's just say this is your perfect. I will now brings me to another thing. And if you start designing something that's really designed or intended to be print material, it's going to try to download it in PDF print. There's two types of print of PDF, if people don't know this. One of them is regular PDF, which is what we all use. But then there's what's called PDF print. PDF print is something that's intended to be richer in detail. So when you send it to the printer, it prints out like you wouldn't believe. So having said that, how do you obtain this? How do you actually get this from Canva to your whatever? Okay, you're going to go. Now, first of all, always name it. Your file, this is not something you save on your hard drive, which is another really cool thing. This is something that's saved on the cloud through your Canva account, which is free. I have the paid Canva, which is a whopping $4 a month because I do more stuff with it for other people. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to call this one simply this, teacher. Let's just say, I'm calling it teacher birthday card, Mrs. Smith. So I know I'm going to click out and then I click away and that's it. It's saved on the account online. So it's saved and customized. The next thing, I'm going to download it. Now, when I click on download, immediately, as you can see, because this was an actual square, it wasn't an actual postcard looking thing, it was a square, it's doing it as what's called a PNG. Doesn't matter, PNG is going to give you a clear background if that's what you want. This won't be clear because it has color. PNG, which is what's suggested, or JPEG. Those are the two main ones that you're going to do. Another one is PDF standard, simple, just regular PDF, or PDF print, which is a higher quality in case you really are going to send it to the printer. So most of the time, we're going to do PNG or JPEG. So it doesn't matter. Go with their suggestion. Go with, leave it alone. PNG. Now, do you want the no, just PNG, hit download, and it's going to start. It takes a second, and on the lower left hand, see, there it goes right there. So now that I have it, there it is, right? There it is. Oh, you can't see that. Okay, so here, let me just go ahead and share my screen so you can see how it downloaded on the lower left-hand side.
We saw that. We saw it.
Okay. Oh, you did? Okay, cool. So now I'm going to copy the image that opened up. Very simple. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go back to my browser, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with that right now. And so I'm going to go back in here. Where the hell did it go? Let's see.
Now we just see you, just so you know.
Okay, cool. So let me just go back over here. Let me just close this because I already copied it. I'm actually trying to just go ahead and show you my browser. Let me just share it. 1 second. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open up my browser, which you see, but there you go. So I'm going to go to my email. I'm going to compose a new email. Now what I can do is I can literally go into where I'm actually right here in the email. Boom, I just hit paste. And there it is. Now, the only thing I would do from here, what I would recommend for you to do, click on the image and always center it. Go down. All email servers work the same way. It's a different button. I don't know what the hell you use, but align. I'm going to click on center. And the only thing I would do in relation to my text size, I might have to resize it. Wishing you happy day, whatever the hell it is. Okay, now as you can see, I did it wrong. Of course, I get it. But what I want to show you is I go back to the image and I put some space between the two, but the image is really big compared to the size of the text. So what I'm going to do is click on the image and just drag it. I want it about that size. There you go. And now you have a literally cool custom image that you can do. Now you can say, yeah, wouldn't it be better if it was squished a little more? Okay, well then you go back over here and then you just go ahead and change the dimensions again. You can do that. You can resize it. I did 6x4 because of my postcard, but maybe this would fit better on a 4. We could squish it up. I would say a 6x3. I mean, whatever. The point of it is you know how to do that. Now I started and I'm ending with an actual template from within Canva. You guys remember that. So what does that mean? That means that if you can come in here and click on, once again, home, it'll bring you here. It'll save all. Now, here's another thing I want to also tell you why you need to learn this skill. You will be a greater asset, not just to yourself, but also to everybody around you, your church. I just created a campaign for a loan originator. He's a broker, a mortgage broker. And in the process, he said, you know what, Javier, I wanted to just tell you, I really appreciate this, because he couldn't do it. And I showed him how to do it in Canva. He says, I've been looking for life insurance. I have 2 kids, my wife, and I'm walking around with no life insurance. And so I go, are you looking for term? Are you looking for more permanent? He said, what's the difference? I go, well, let's make an appointment. So this Tuesday, I'm coming back to explain to him. And of course, we're going to go the IUL side. He's actually going to prepay a whole year. But it's a skill that you can share with other people. Don't be selfish. Don't just think about yourself. There's more to the world and life than just you. And when you open up yourself to, like me with you right now, I'm just sharing this with you because we got people here that aren't even part of my team, which is wonderful because I want FFS to win. We got people that are on this webinar right now. If you look at the guests, they're not even part of FFS. That's okay. I don't mind. I love, I'm not going to get all into it, but I have somebody that came across my Facebook, and as long as you win wherever the hell you're at, I'm happy. I mean, that's really what I want it to be. Just about helping you. I think if we did that more in this world, we'd be in a much better world. But anyways, that's a whole different talk. So what I want to do now is show you another cool way, which is what I'm going to send you right now. And so let me go ahead and pull this up. Let me get the link going if I can find it, because I know I had it open earlier. Oh, where did it go? Valentine's Day. Where the hell did it go? Oh, Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day. Let's see. Okay, well, let's see. All right, so what I'm going to share with you right now. Now, here it is. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this. I just bought it. Copying it. Copy the link. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you something. Please don't call me during the week asking for this, because I'm not going to even open it. What I'm going to do is I'm sending you this link right here. And this is the link you're going to need. And so all I'm doing is I'm going to go ahead and paste the link I just sent you. When you open it up, it's going to open up the way I just, you saw here. Very, very simple. Now, it says here, the Canva Stylist, that's the name of the store where I bought it from, whatever. And it says download here. So I'm going to do that. And what this is right here, this is a Canva Templates for Valentine's Day, the one that you saw on the website earlier, Etsy. And so I'm going to use the templates. And guess what it opened up? Canva. So here, what I could do, like it says, this is pretty cool, isn't it? Life insurance is the last love letter to your family. What does yours say? Well, most people say you're screwed all the way out, right? And so here, you're able to go ahead and customize it. So how do you customize it? Well, literally whatever the hell you want to do with it. If I was to do this, I would just put my contact. So either A, I might not need a logo, but if I do, I go to my logos that you upload only one time. Once you do this one time, you never have to do it again. So I might do something like what I'm doing right now. Let me just move this. It's a little difficult sometimes. Move stuff out of the way if you have to. So I'm going to move this here. And you know you're centered because that purple line. Now, I'm not going to print this. So I can go as high as I want to. There you go. Something like that. And so if I wanted to fit more stuff in there, which I don't recommend you mess with templates, because then you just screw up the whole purpose of the templates, of course. And see, let me just go ahead and show you this at this point. Okay, so here we go. So this example, everything this here is good. All I would really want, if anything, is maybe just to go ahead and make it a little smaller to put my info. So I'm going to, on the size instead of 52. Now, two things I would do. I would make this wider before I make it smaller because I don't want to see. So I'm just pulling it apart. That's what I would do. And then when you go up and down, left and right, there, I know I'm centered because of the purple, right? This, I would just go here. I want this to be there. And the way you add text is on the left-hand side, there's a text box here, text field. I'm gonna click on text, and there's really four things technically you can do. Heading, which is a very big letter, subheading, or really small. I would start with the middle one, or you can text, or you can try any of these with fancy fonts, as you can see. So if I wanted to do this, there, I don't like it, I just click on it, hit delete. I'm just going to stick to the ones that I'm going to type in subheading. Subheading is there. Now, this doesn't match that font, and it's okay. And I'll tell you why it's okay. It's okay primarily because I want this to stand out. This is going to be my contact information. And so I'm going to just simply say something like this. Three, California. Now I get it, it's big. Doesn't matter. Always get what you want to get first on the actual canvas, then highlight the whole thing, and then mess with this until it's the size that you want it to be. And if you, so here, I'm gonna do this. I can use the arrows up and down as well to fine tune it. And if that's what I want, I could do that. If I really don't want to make the letter smaller, then what I would recommend you do is put this two on one, or like this, but put these two on one line. So that way you don't mess up the shadow effect of the envelope. And so now the reason that you want to label this is because otherwise people will steal it. So if they steal it, let them steal your image with your info on it, which is cool. But people say, well, how do I put in my message on the actual template? You don't. This is to stop them from scrolling. They notice it. They think it's pretty cool. Then your message is in the actual text of the post. And the post will be something along the lines of, this year, give your family the ultimate gift. And then contact me for a free proposal or a free whatever illustration, or contact me for more info, whatever. But the post is where your message lies. This is the aesthetics that you don't want to mess with. And so for me, I would do this there. Now brings me to another thing you want to be very careful. This template series has all the templates in one. So if I hit download, theoretically, I could download everything, but you don't want to do that. So what do? You're going to go to download. I want it to be PNG or JPEG, doesn't matter. But I don't want all 20 pages. Every design is considered a page. So what I want just page one. And I'm going to go ahead and download it. We're running out of time. So I'm going to download it. I don't know if I clicked it or not. Here, I'm going to download it. It's downloading as we speak. Boom. Just came down on the lower left-hand side. It's going to open in what's called the preview box. So I'm going to have to go ahead and switch gears so you can see it. You're not seeing it right now. And let me just show you this. This is the actual, cool. So now I'm going to do is click on it, copy it. Just right click and hit copy or Control C, how fancy you are. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go over here again. So just bear with me. And I'm just going to use Facebook as an example. I'm going to go in here. Right here where I type in my message, I'm going to paste it here. I'm not going to click on this and all that other crap. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go ahead, come in here. Damn it. It didn't work. Hold on. Just go back over here. And it's not copying because it's highlighting the there. So I just typed it, pasted it. This. Family ultimate gift. Call me. Now I'm stepping here, 562. Keep it short, keep it simple. Less is more. There. I'm going to go ahead and hit it. Post. There it is. What do you think of that? Anyone? I'm telling you,
Amazing.
pretty simple, right? Doable? I thought so. Anyways, but the point that I'm making is I'm leaving you here with the copy of this. You can scroll through all this. You can see the different ones that you have. You have 20. My recommendation, don't go ahead and overcomplicate it. Don't start slapping lipstick on a pig and it looks like it was created by a 5-year-old. Don't do that. The most you really want to do is, move it around like I did, put a logo, put your contact info, and that's really it. Otherwise, you're going to steal away the power of what you see here before you as well. And so, like I said, the top leaders, and you know who you are. You're on the board, Kathy's, you know who you are, Alan and Daniela's and Lex. If you need any help with anything, give me a call. Everybody else, I cannot make that promise because I just don't have the time. People say, oh, you must be getting ready for your big trip to Israel. Going to Israel for us is going to be just like going to Kabul. When we travel a lot, we have literally one luggage for both of us. We're actually bringing 2 carry-ons this time because we want to put the gifts that we're buying in this empty one. And so I'm being around. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to go ahead and still obviously be around. I have my computer, my phone works there just fine, and so on. So I don't want to see anybody slow down with production because of something you needed from me. But again, if you just simply have a trivial question about this, don't call me. Watch the video again, which is by subscribing to FFS on YouTube.com, and you'll find everything that you need right there. What I'm going to do at this time is I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you to see if we have any questions, comments, or concerns before I wrap it up. Anybody?
Javier, it's Kathy. I just want to tell you thank you for this. I'm definitely going to be utilizing it. But I also wanted to share, I don't know if you're familiar with BombBomb. You heard of that?
Yes.
So I just went to a marketing seminar and they were talking about that. So if anybody's interested, you can just look it up. There is a fee to pay for it, but you can customize email videos to your client by sharing their name. Hello, this is, Kathy, and I wanted to just share this with you. So I'm going to try that if anybody else is interested.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. What I also recommend that you look into as you look into BombBomb, go ahead and do that. But my recommendation is to also check out Vidyard. You might like it, the same. They basically do the same thing. And so the one that I'm referring to is, again, Vidyard. I'm going to go ahead and put it up on the screen. This is Vidyard right here. And what this does, it allows you, and it's a little misleading. It says, they say that they send video messages, which technically it turns it into a GIF. If you know what a GIF is, it's just like a recording of a video that loops, and then it takes it to a landing page, but it's good. And so if you do this right here, I'm pretty sure they offer a free account, which is the one that I started with. I actually ended up upgrading. Yeah, they do. It's a free one. Excuse me, it's a free one. So check out Vidyard if you wanted to look into BombBomb. BombBomb's really probably the most popular one on the web right now. And it's big thing of the video. And I do agree, video is where it's at, which is why we're doing this versus like we used to do a conference call only. There's great power in that and a great communication as well. Anybody else? Well, the last thing I have to tell you is that we are going to have, I'm not going to be conducting next Saturday's webinar myself. We are going to have one. So please make sure you'll get a reminder and everything. Just log in. It will be well worth your time. And by that time, we're going to be barely getting situated, of course, in Israel. We're looking at the difference in time. And as long as I can do it, which I think we can, we don't have an excursion till the next day. The point is that it might be me, it might be somebody else. I don't know yet because I'm waiting for my actual itinerary from the tour group as to when our first excursion takes place. When you land in Israel, they give you a PCR test when you land, and you're technically supposed to be isolating in your room until you get your results or for 24 hours. which they told us it'll be just 2-3 hours before we get the test results that night. So we'll be good to go. So anyways, depending on what happens, it might be me, it might be somebody else, but I do have 2 other special tools that I want to roll out and make you aware of, which will happen next week. Last call for questions, comments, or concerns. I hope it was worth your time. I really do thank you for being here. And again, if you haven't done so, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel so that way you can get notified of everything that we have going on. I do have one video I'm going to release later this week, which we're not even going to email anybody. It's going to be via YouTube notification only. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, you're not going to know about it. And everybody else that gets notified, don't share with anybody. It's really intended to reward those that are doing what needs to be done in this new age. As you can see, this is Canva. 5 years ago, I would have told you to pay so-and-so to get something done. Here, learn how to fish and do it for yourself, empower yourself, and therefore you can claim the future that you deserve. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great weekend. Again, stay healthy and stay safe. Thank you.